After 27 rounds and an unforgettable final series, just two teams remain in the race for the 2025 Premiership. A dynasty unmatched in the modern era brought to a sudden halt as two powerhouse clubs progress through to the grand final.
Welcome to Amy Park. The town of Melbourne is pumping. Here they come, the stall. Comes across Liero to Hughes. Hughes out to Meany. Then the pass for Warbrick. Oh, what a wonderful play by Kennedy. And Kantoa's over in the corner. Hughes goes through. Hughes in the clear. Hughes goes for it. Jerome Hughes makes it. Broken wrist and all. Munster, the chip kick. Here comes Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen doesn't get the bounce, but he grabs it anyway. Fireworks are going off. The Storm over the Sharks. 22-14.
A glorious Sunday on Fox League. Well, listen to this reception. The Broncos on home soil. Kinney, big chance. Edwards, Togo, Alabani! Cleary it away. Edwards, Togo, Alabani's on his way again. Hard leg. Alabani can do it all. Brisbane with it all to do. Half-time blown. It's Penrith 14, Brisbane 0. Awful pass to Reynolds, kick through, and Staggs is onto it! Staggsilla has scored for Brisbane! Now there's push and shove. Mann and Cleary are getting it on. Get them into the octagon quickly. Brisbane come back! I've never seen that before! Down the short side, Cleary saved the clay, and it came up and back the way! Xavier Willison! Walsh for 14-12. Well, how? Walsh hits the post! Walsh, dummy, through one, through two, offloaded, on the bounce, Mariner for the line! He's scored for Brisbane! The Broncos have come back from 14 points down!
That's the reasons why, I guess, a pre-season is, the things that you do.
Reynolds, he now steps up on the right touchline. One of the great kickers. Here we go. A whole band of fans on his right boot. Reynolds kicks it. Take a bow. Brisbane in front. Last tackle play. Bombs in the air. They go back. Yo! Cleary. Hail Mary. He won't get the shot in. I'm going to do Edwards. Edwards will launch the shots. It doesn't come off. That will be it for the run of the Panthers.
How does it feel that it's over?
What's over? I'd like to think there's, more in us.
They're on the way to the grand final. The mighty Penrith run has come to an end. This is something beyond special.
Welcome to NRL 360, rugby league from every angle, brought to you by Regain. Joining me again, the great Gorden Tallis, spin the journos in, Buzz Rothfield and Brent Reid, and what has been one of the best semi-final series of all time. It is the Brisbane Broncos and the Melbourne Storm heading to the big dance. Gordy, how good has it been?
Well, everybody that I spoke to said it's probably the greatest day that they've had at the old Lang Park or Suncorp Stadium. They said the stadium was moving, it was rocking. Every kid woke up this morning, put on a bit of maroon and yellow for the Broncos and went to do whatever they were going to do. But what a game. I think it's the greatest final series that I've witnessed, to be quite honest.
Not just the stadium, guys, televisions were on across the country. The highest rating, grand final qualifier in the history of the game yesterday on Channel 9 and on Fox Sports. Great news for those cheering for an afternoon grand final. Yeah. Afternoon footy has been sensational.
My wife Kylie's my litmus test on everything. When she's jumping around the living room, it's a good game of footy. Because she doesn't normally jump around the living room, Braith, and she was pumped up. So it was an amazing day yesterday.
I was jumping around the living room.
We saw that on Instagram. Yeah.
Let's address the elephant in the room, though, Buzz.
Go far away.
The great Madge Maguire.
Yes.
What a season he has had.
He has had a great season.
All those army camps, Fort Denison, the boat with on Belly's boat.
The cultural experience on
Tom Slingsby.
Tom Slingsby, celebrity cruiser, Anthony Bell, all that.
Well,
mate, if you want me to sit here on a Monday night and not have an opinion, I'm happy to. No, I am. I'm happy to stay quiet.
I love your opinions,
At the beginning
Buzz.
of the year, I was told that Broncos players were struggling to come to grips with Madge's intense style. right? That was the case. They then went in the harbour cruise, Anthony Bell, celebrities, blah, 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 blah. They got beat by South. I wrote the story, simple as that. You know what? I've been proven wrong. Like everyone else at this desk has at various times of the year.
Oh, hang on, don't bring everyone else in.
No, well, it's true.
This is about the moment. This is about the Broncos and Michael Maguire.
Yeah. I know it's about that, and I stand by, Braith, everything I said. And you know what? I'm also told, and if you speak to a couple of players, right, they will tell you they brought in a crisis manager, Grant Williams, crisis spin doctor manager, right, just to calm the farm a bit. He's worked with police commissioners and some very heavy. You don't. You seem to be doubting what I'm saying.
I know. I love what you're saying.
Why do you bring in a crisis manager?
To fix the crisis, Buzz, eh?
Well, exactly.
Well, they had some drama going on, didn't they?
They had a lot of drama.
They've had a bit moving around, haven't they?
So look, I give him?
I'll say this to you. I saw Madge during that period, that tough period in Maroubra, and he was doing it tough. They were going through a tough time. They really were, and that's what makes this even more remarkable because they were in a hole. Even the way they were playing, I remember we were questioning their desire, and that was what they got him there to do was to lift their intensity, make sure that they were fitter, and they had more desire and competed harder. And there was some games there where they were just not even close. So that's what makes this so special, Gordy.
Yeah, they've 50 games on from their last grand final to go the redemption story. They can say that it wasn't, but there must have been a little bit of noise in the back of the head. Down 14-0. 14-0 against a side that strangle you, don't give you anything, grind you into the ground. It was a great victory, and it's for the true believers. So to be out there and do what they did, there must be a fair bit.
The 14-0 comeback 2 weeks earlier, they did something similar in the second half.
They've done it a few times this year. They've done it a few times this year. Now, the great Brent Reid, he's like a horse in the Melbourne Cup. He's coming down the outside late with some great predictions after a very dismal year. Sam Walker and all the rest of it. And you've come home that strong because you're all over. They were never in doubt, the Bronx.
Well, I said that the team that wins the comp would have to beat Melbourne in the grand final. And I said you had to be in the top four, Braith.
You did.
And Penrith are out because they didn't finish top four.
I'm proud of you.
Well, I just stuck to my guns, Braith. You've got to be committed. You've got to be committed.
Can I say something?
Nostradamus.
Can I say very quickly, Buzz? The way they played yesterday, I reckon that's the epitome of everything that Madge Maguire wanted them to be. Because they were out, they were down on their knees, they fought back, a bit like the Canberra game, but this one just felt like there was more, just something extra to it, the grit, the hunger. I reckon that's why Madge gets the spew buckets, gets not so much the boat cruises.
Look, I'm still against spew buckets and all that stuff, but you do have to give him credit for those comeback victories against Canberra, and they were gone that day.
A lot of that is because of the spew buckets. Like
you do not.
Yeah,
you don't. You don't. Go and ask the RLPA. Go and ask.
I don't care about the RLPA.
I'll tell you what,
Buzz. Go to 90% of the footy clubs and ask them if players have spewed in the off-season at their clubs. And there'll be more than 90% saying, it happens quite regularly because most of the time you come back out of shape too. And it's not even the.
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I've got strong views on it. I've got anecdotal evidence of heat stress and all this stuff.
They had no problem with it. The NRL looked into it. They had no problem with it.
Yeah, well, they looked into it. They investigate. Right?
Yeah.
What's your next topic?
All right, let's move on now. You think that Kevy and Ben Teo deserve some credit?
Well, they do, and take nothing away from Madge. I'm telling you here and now, he's done a great job. I want to give Kevin Walters a rap. I think he needs to be given credit for the manner in which he left that football club, ready to challenge for a title. And while they had their shortcomings last year with a lot of injuries, I think you've got to give him a rap for the way he left the club. And a lot of coaches are judged on how they got to a club and how they leave a club. And Kevy left in great shape. The other guy I want to rap is Ben Teo, their Minister for Defence. Last year, they averaged 25 points a game. This year, second half of the year, they got it down to 19 points a game. So that's a converted try per game. They're third in the NRL for run metres conceded. They're third in the NRL for offloads conceded. They've really tightened it up. And you saw that to hold Penrith scoreless in that second half. Penrith had some football and some chances. Even Cleary couldn't. I reckon Ben Teo is a NRL coach in waiting. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I think Benny's been sort of around the game for a while now. He had success at the Dolphins, didn't he, Gordy, in the Queensland Cup?
Yeah,
from memory.
did a bit of coaching.
I don't think there's any doubt he's a coach in waiting, head coach in waiting at some point down the track. And you're right, Buzzy deserves. Look, Kevy deserves a lot of credit because a lot of that roster was built under Kevy as well. That's the other thing. So Madge inherited a pretty good football team. I think we all saw that.
You've been saying that for a while.
Yeah, well, look. If you just boil it down and look at that roster, it's a pretty fair roster.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So, like, when they run out there, they've got $2 million halfbacks. Yeah, they've got Ezra Mam, a great 5'8", a young 5'8", Reece Walsh, Katoni Staggs, young fast wingers, and Payne Hassan, Paddy Carrigan. Not too bad.
I do agree, but I must say, they come 12th last year, and Madge deserves, in my opinion, the majority of the credit. And it's a fair comeback from the tails of Tiger Town, isn't it? If you think about it.
Can we replay this?
Now, this is your favourite vision right here, right?
Yeah.
Now, he won with New Zealand with the Test match. Then he wins with the Blues, and now he takes the job at the Broncos, and he's in the grand final in his first year. Now, tell me that is an amazing coaching effort.
Well, it is. It is. And, we talk about great coaches in our game. And, to win 2 premierships at 2 different clubs, if he wins on Sunday, it's a pretty amazing achievement. There's not a lot of coaches who've done that. So I think Madge probably stamps himself as one of the great coaches. I mean, not a Bennett or a Bellamy or an Ivan or a Jack Gibson, but a great coach in his own right.
To do it in all those forms is just outstanding. And he's not the first bloke to fail at the West. Ivan Cleary failed at the West Tigers. Had to get out.
Yeah, all right, what about the other coach? Craig Bellamy, the coach, his 11th grand final, overtaking the great Wayne Bennett. What an achievement this is by Craig.
How good is he? He's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It's just a ridiculous. It's 22 final series out of 23 years as well or something. And the one he missed was the salary cap year. So he's just been... and every year he contemplates retiring and he goes around again. And he does just as good a job because you know what? He never drops his standards, Braith. And that's what, when you go there, there's a standard expected of you at that football club. And if you don't meet it, you don't last there long. And Craig makes players better. He just every year after year, never loses hunger. He's driven. He's an amazing football coach.
There's some sides that wore the purple jersey that were unbelievable, right? With Greg Inglis and Cam, but there's been some grand final sides that he's got there. And the players that he's got off a scrap heap or whatever to get to a grand final, it's unbelievable. I didn't think it would be 11.
That leads me to this. Do you think what would be a driving force for Craig would be to win a premiership without Cameron Smith at 9?
I think it would mean a lot to him, I really do. Look, he had to rebuild. He lost Slater, he lost Cronk, and he lost Cameron Smith. And he's brought through the next generation of big, the Munsters and the Jerome Hugheses at Townsville fullback and Harry at Grant. I think it's important to Craig to, I think it's there in the back of his mind that Smithy, world record player, absolute champion, future immortal. But to do it without him would maybe the most special one that he's...
I think it actually, I think of it, probably drives Cameron a bit as well, to win a
Cameron
premiership.
Munster?
Yeah, to win a premiership with Craig without those guys in the team, right?
Because then it's his.
Yeah. All right, Buzz, you got some breaking news for us about the referee that's going to be appointed.
Yeah, I just got a text message a second ago. I'm told that Grant Atkins tomorrow will be appointed as referee of the grand final, his first ever grand final. His dad played in 2 grand finals, Graham Atkins, Parramatta in 77 and 81. Ashley Klein had a shocker in Melbourne on Friday night. Ball in play, 25 minutes, first half, not good enough. Too many penalties. And I think the Atkins appointment will be very well received across the game. He's got a big fan club. He lets football games flow. Didn't get a perfect mark yesterday. There was criticism for not putting Liam Martin in the sin bin, probably should have been. And his compliance with the 10
I reckon that was
on.
the right decision, though.
Yeah, well,
I think referees have a chance to make the correct decision or the right decision. And I thought watching that, you know, where the game was at, what was happening, I
But
thought that
others
was
have
the
been
right.
sin bin Gordy for the
Like,
same
mate,
thing.
and I get it. And then I thought that was the wrong decision when Ashley Klein sent Hudson Young. I didn't think that game deserved, you know, Hudson Young going to the
This final series has been so good because, you know, the NRL have got the appointments right, and they've certainly got this one right.
Is
2
this,
on
is this
2,
the right
let it
call,
go.
Reedy?
Well, it's like a footy team, right? You've got to pick it on form, and at the moment, Green Atkins is in better form than Ashley Klein. I mean, I thought that should have been. That's a sin bin. Any other day except that preliminary final, that's
But
a sin bin for
when there's
Liam
all
Martin.
4 there, so you either
But-
send all 4 off
Yeah.
or you leave them all on.
But I don't particularly have an issue with it.
Yeah.
But you know, I think he deserves to referee the grand final because of the way he refereed at the weekend and the way Ashley Klein refereed at the
And
weekend.
you know, Braith, it's good that the players decided the winner. You know what I mean? Like to sit there and watch the fans, make the players decided that.
I should have said too, Braith, that story is breaking on our Telegraph website right now.
On the Telegraph website, there it is.
Yep.
Breaking news from the great Buzz Rothfield. Now the Broncos win. Let's talk more about it. Redemption for Reynolds with that clutch conversion. What a kick it was. What a moment it was for Adam. The Broncos and the game of rugby league. What about it? This was
amazing,
huge.
Reece Walsh was hitting them and not that well. Right, he's 40-20s, like he was hitting the ball well, and then Adam walks over and picks the ball up. You know, and I just listened to the call, and I've watched a lot of social media. Dang, and I goes, here comes Adam Reynolds, and that's what you want, right? He wanted that moment.
You were there, right? And you said everyone was standing up. Yeah. Everyone was on the edge of their seat or standing up in their lounge rooms.
Yeah.
And you talk about...
That's a moment.
This is a moment for the Broncos, their fans, but also Adam, like, you know, the ghosts of yesteryear, you know, like...
When South played, South in the grand final, I think it was on the other side of the field, so he had that moment. I couldn't imagine what goes through a goal kicker's head, right? Like, and it's not for me. I think it's for blokes that can just wipe it away. And all the great goal kickers just worry about this kick. This is the most important, and that was the moment. I think
and
that...
for it to be his first kick of the game.
I've got a lovely story for him to talk about Waterloo Park, down near Redfern. Grew up there, learnt to kick there, and just, you know, got everything sorted.
When he hit it, I thought it was going to hook away, actually.
Yeah,
and
you
it
thought it was
just
gonna
sort of
keep on going?
it went a little bit, and then it just straightened
See,
up.
that was the Western Grandstand blowing
like
it back
a
in.
beautiful little
And there was a
four-iron
bit
or
of
something.
commentary even before the game was, should Renault come back? That they'd done so well without him, but I guess when Kevy Walder's son Billy got hurt, he had to.
No, I knew it was the right call to bring him back, and it paid off in the end. Now, there was controversy, and we're going to revisit it. The Cleary Mam tackle. Did the Broncos deserve a penalty here?
Absolutely. No question at all that he's been tackled in the air while kicking the football.
Hang on.
you're saying
Hang on,
Penrith
Penrith.
deserved the penalty?
You're saying Penrith deserved
Penrith deserved the penalty.
Penrith
yeah.
deserved the penalty.
Absolutely they did.
Well, doesn't the Liam Martin one overcut?
No, what you do, and it's happened many times this year, the first offence is penalised, right? That's
Didn't
that's what
happen
happened.
for.
That's a penalty. Do you agree? Tackle in the air.
Probably to the level
It
of law,
is.
but it's...
I've spoken to the NRL about it.
I understand.
I've sent them the still
But they've
frame.
also said that the Liam Martin
Yeah, we're
coming
slowing
in,
this down here. We're slowing it down. I'll tell
That's
you
in the
what,
air.
that's
That's
touch and go. That's
Oh,
touch and
yeah,
go.
it's
Let's
touch
go
and go.
back a bit there. Let's go back. I reckon this is touch and go. Let's keep an eye on his left leg on the ground, and when he first makes contact with him, he wraps his arms around him. Let's have a look here.
there you go. He's in
He
the
hasn't
kicking
kicked yet.
motion.
He hasn't kicked yet. He hasn't kicked yet. Still
Yeah,
hasn't
bang.
kicked. Still
Yeah.
hasn't kicked.
Foot's on the ground there.
Still
look.
hasn't kicked.
Foot's on the ground.
There it is.
Foot's on the
There.
ground.
He's
Foot's on the
touching
ground.
him. He's touching him
Yeah,
right
he is.
there.
I
His
still
foot's on
say
the ground.
it's a legal
It's a no
tackle.
penalty.
No penalty.
He wraps
Yeah,
his arms
but
around
see,
him.
this is
a
the
legal
problem, right?
tackle.
They want to protect the kickers.
Yeah.
Last week when the Raiders, when he charged the ball
Yeah.
down...
What was
he
more
touched-
dangerous?
He tackled him exactly how you're supposed to. He wrapped his arms around him and
What
takes
was
him
more
to the ground.
dangerous? What Zach Hosking did or what, you know, please?
What are you talking about, Buzz?
Well, I'm saying
what are the
what
rules?
Zach
Talk me
Hosking
through the
did.
rules.
I'm talking through the rules. You can't tackle a man in the air. There he
We
is
just
in the air.
paused it when his foot was on the ground. He was
Oh,
touching him.
mate, it was that much. Come
No,
on.
no, it
Mate,
doesn't matter.
Mate, we're
It's
not in
on
the
the
bunker. Seriously. That was an
The bunker would have
illegal
looked at
tackle,
it. The
mate.
bunker would have looked at it and they would have paused it right here. Ready? We'll
You
show
can
you
get
again.
booked for a dangerous tackle. That was a dangerous tackle. I'm not changing my opinion. I don't care what you're stopping here. It was a dangerous
Don't
tackle.
worry about the rules. You just make your own ones up.
But no, I'm not making my own rules up, Braith. It was a dangerous
Have a look.
tackle.
His foot's on
He's
the
touching
ground.
there. His foot's on the
He's
ground.
touching-
Where's he touched
He's
him?
touching on his arm.
Go
up
the
top.
next frame. Go the next frame.
The next frame's over,
Can't
mate.
even
Yeah, he's still got him there. He's clearly
He's still
got
tackling
him on the ground. And I'll tell you what, then Nathan gives him a slight little punch on the ground as well, which incited the whole thing.
Oh, did it?
Well, watch it now.
Well,
watch.
Let's have a look. Play on.
Watch it.
Play on.
Bang.
Okay.
It was a
very
palm.
much.
It's like that
Well,
what
that
I'm
is-
about to do to you.
Well, that incited it all.
Hey?
And then Liam Martin comes in like a maniac. Look at him.
Liam Martin is the one in the wrong here.
Terrible.
And that's something we can't argue about.
yeah.
And he should have been sin bin for that.
Yeah,
but
probably
the
third
penalty
man.
should have gone to Penrith for
He's still
being
there.
tackled in there.
Disagree. Disagree.
It's not the first time this year.
No,
You
Liam
haven't
Martin could have
agreed.
went for the
Plenty more.
See his face?
Plenty more too.
I probably would have done the same thing.
Let's get back to a positive, Buzz. Let's get on the same page. Payne Haas, what a player. What a performance by him. And I mean, we're not surprised, right? He's done it for years now, and he's done it all year this year. He's carried them through some tough times, but
Right, 80 minutes.
what a
though.
performance.
80 minutes. He played 80 minutes in this game. That, I know it doesn't surprise us, but it should, because that was remarkable from him yesterday.
That was the game, right? So with no Paddy Carrigan, there was no one. That's not disrespecting the other Broncos forward, because they did an outstanding job. But
This is the
for
effort.
Paddy, yeah, and then
It's coming now.
well,
Watch this.
his, like just his effort, right? So he was going to cover, then just keep on moving for a
Keep
big
your
guy.
eyes on him. Keep your eyes on him.
For a big guy to play 80 minutes, that was a massive performance. And to chase this,
Have a look. Then he realises,
look at that. Look
and he's
him
the
get on
first
his
one
bike.
there. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ready? You got something for us?
He's crazy good footballer, Braith. Well, we know he's different gravy, right? I mean, I'm looking forward actually to his...
different gravy, I
Well,
like
he is, yeah. I'm looking forward actually. Stefano's in pretty red hot form at the moment as well. So
What's Stefano
We'll get-
talking about
we'll-
him?
we'll
Hopefully
get
he
to
was.
I'm
that.
not sure he was
We'll
talking
get to
about
that.
Hopefully he
We'll get
was.
to that, but
Yeah, I just want to
it's a
say
fair
something.
matchup.
This fella, I've seen Webke, I've seen Lazarus, go back to Blocker Roach, Les Davidson, Ian Roberts, all these great front rowers. This fella's up there with them.
Yeah.
No doubt whatsoever. He's a freakish athlete.
on.
To have the speed to get to position to stop Cleary having that kick. Knowing Cleary, he would have kicked it without that chase.
The only thing is he doesn't have the success. So what would hold him back is like when we judge, because if we're going to judge everybody like the halfbacks, oh, he hasn't won a comp, If we go Lazo, they played in 5 grand finals in a row.
Yeah, I said
and
he's
probably
up
got
there,
six,
mate.
and got 6 grand final rings, and every club he went to won.
Yes.
I'll tell you what,
That is the only thing missing from Payne Haas, because his stats, I think, are probably above all the other guys, but it's just
Like
the ring.
no one could do the sort of stuff this guy does on the football field.
No, I'll tell you what,
he's-
every time he does that as well, Buzz, he's a November 1 guy, right? He hits the open market November 1. His value goes up and up and up.
What's he worth?
Mate, he's 1.5 minimum. 1.5 million minimum.
He'll
on
be
the
the
open
first
market.
NRL $1.5 million front rower.
All right, 2 of the Broncos' biggest stars fronted the cameras this morning. Take a look.
We believed in it from the start, and that's where we're heading to. And for myself, it's just about getting improving as I go. And I guess now that we've got the semis out of the way, that all our focus is on getting our prep right for this weekend and going from there.
Now, I know how, and we all know here how tough it is to get to a grand final. We've been there, we've experienced it. It's what you want to do as a player. It's why you work your backside off in pre-season. We've still got so much work to do. I'm not looking too far ahead. I just want to, ride the emotions, enjoy it, soak up the week, and just have a good time.
This is our destiny. What about these two? Reece Walsh, Ezra Mam. Ezra Mam was electric coming off the bench, which makes me or leads me to ask this question. Does Ezra remain on the bench, or do you start him at 5'8"?
I'd change nothing from yesterday. I thought he was really effective when there was some tired legs out there. I know what he did in the grand final a couple of years ago, nearly won the Churchill medal on a losing side. He was that
But
good.
Paddy Carrigan comes back in, doesn't he?
Yeah, and Carrigan comes back in.
Yeah.
So, look, I'd keep him
You
on
feel
the
sorry
bench.
for
You
someone
change
that's
the
going
winning
to...
side?
Well, you don't know who comes out.
I'd start him.
Who?
I'd start Ezra Mam. I'd start Ezra Mam. I'd put him in there from the
So who
start.
misses out?
I'd move Ben Hunt back to the bench. I'd start with
14.
Pates, and after 20 minutes, I'd bring Hunt into the game. That's what I'd do. And
You
I've
know,
been
they're
getting a lot right lately, so you probably should.
You do have a hot hand at the moment. But don't let it hold you back, though, Buzz.
Mate, you're saying he's had a hot hand. He said 6 teams couldn't win the comp. And when you pick that many,
He's had the hot
eventually you're going to
hand.
get one right, mate.
Wait,
The winner of the grand final is going to come out of the top 4.
It's been a long year.
It's been 27 rounds and you finally got one.
He's broke.
right.
He's only won one hand at the
Madge is
casino.
out there. Listen to me, buddy. On a streak.
You're very convincing when you say this.
Yeah, I would start him. I just think I thought, like you said, Braith, I thought he was dynamite coming off the bench last week.
Yeah, but that's the point, right?
No, I'd say get him out there from the start because I just think he's a game breaker. He can win the game for them, as we saw in the grand final a couple of years ago.
I'd agree with you.
You agree with me?
He's a special talent.
Oh, he's
okay, so who cares about our opinions right now? What are they going to do? What do you reckon they do?
I reckon they leave
last week.
Yeah.
You reckon
they leave it? Yeah, because as well, so 6 weeks out of it, he's come back in. You would just assess the situation, coming off, making an impact. You're going to put Ben Hunt into number 9, and it's not broken. So Ben Hunt's robust. He can take the first 20 minutes, take a bit of sting out of the game for him, and he comes on.
I know you think it, but do you think that Madge will make that call? It's a big call to make after yesterday.
I reckon he might.
All right.
I think if Ezra Mam's in the team, you start him.
Similar to Ruben Cotter at 9 during the year, he might do that. That didn't nearly
That was a smart move.
Yeah.
Don't know why he didn't do it.
You nearly got that one right, didn't you? All right, the Panthers dynasty comes to an end.
God, how far back you got to go? 6 months?
The Panthers dynasty has come to an end, or is it really over? I mean, they're champions, and even in this game, until they made a couple of errors in the second half, they were in complete control. And I'm thinking, if they continue the way that they're playing, so precise again, so strategic, executing with ease and brilliance and poise and class, you name it, they had it again. I'm thinking they're going to win this comp. And then all of a sudden they just did they get tight because they made a couple of errors? Fatigue.
Tired.
Yeah.
But don't suggest the dynasty's over, whatever.
No.
I'll tell you why. This off-season, I don't know if they're going to lose a great player, are they?
They got a similar team. I think it's identical.
This will be the most settled they've been going into a new season. And they were so close, and to come back from an impossible position, they'll make the top 4 next year, and they're just as likely to win it. Big thing, Reedy, not losing a superstar. It'll mean a lot.
Which they've done traditionally in recent years, but they won't. I think they made a mistake resting all those players a few weeks ago. I think they had to have a red-hot goal. They had to have a red-hot goal at the top 4. I think that was crucial. They had to try and make the top 4. We've seen that, Gordy. That's been proven. If you
but then even a side as
good as they are,
didn't they
were still an outside hope.
Yeah.
But even a side as good
how
as
outside were they?
Well, it was quite outside.
No, it was like very.
It was very outside.
Right, okay, so if they run out
but
of
that
gas,
was basically saying
if they run out of gas a bit yesterday and they didn't rest them, they would have run out of gas.
They nearly won yesterday.
Yeah, they did nearly win.
Mate, there was a couple of plays that they'd like to have again. Mate, they should be congratulated.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
If they hadn't arrested players, they would have been cooked by the time they played their first final.
I don't reckon they regret that decision.
No, they probably don't.
No.
But
so you're coming back with us now?
Yeah.
No, I'm not with you at all.
Oh,
and on the dynasty thing, I mean, I'm with you guys. As long as they have Nathan Cleary, they are always going to be in the mix because he's that good.
He's brilliant. How was he yesterday? I mean, again, he was in full control for the majority of the game. How would you rate his performance, Gordy? Did he miss any opportunities?
Nathan Cleary's Nathan Cleary, but this one here, look, there was that. I think he gets tackled and it's tackle 5 there. And they're not normally Nathan's moments. And that's why you say fatigue's there. So a couple of times when they went at these guys a lot because Adam Reynolds, I think 5 tackles. I think Tony Staggs about 5 and so was Ricky. So they were going down there a lot. And I thought they should have taken the 2. They were sitting going, why don't you take the 2? When they're big games, points are so valuable. But you guys have mixed. You said the Sharks probably shouldn't have taken the 2. But I think all the time, and I know it's hindsight, but when I was sitting there live, I said, take the 2.
Do you think they had to work so hard after being last through 12 rounds or whatever they were, they had to work so hard to even make the finals that just eventually was going to catch up with them? I think it just caught up with them yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, to win comps, you need a bit to go your way, don't you?
Yeah.
And although they've been the best team by a long way for a long period of time now, you do need a bit of luck. You know, you make your own luck. I'm a big advocate for that. That's...
Well, I wrote this morning the salary cap finally got hold of them and they'd probably lost 1 or 2. Too many players. I looked at their 2021 side that won the grand final and they've lost 10 of that 17. The 10 they lost are all champions. I'm talking Crichton's, Burton.
You know what made me think, Buzz, too, is watching Craig Fitzgibbon's press conference after their loss and how much he said that sort of lull during the year hurt them missing out on the 4 in the end because how hard it is to back up every week and to go the long way around. And then I thought, you know what? It started me second-guessing Penrith against the Broncos. I'm thinking they might get tired here. Fitzy knows his stuff. And he was telling us the impact it had on his club. could it catch up to Penrith? And it did in the end.
I knew another bloke who said that missing the top four would catch up with them. Another bloke.
Who?
Thanks very much.
Hey, self-praise is no praise. You know what? I'm going to give you credit tonight, Reddy. You deserve it.
Thanks,
you deserve it. Stick around, man. This Wednesday, the summer of cricket begins with Australia travelling to New Zealand for a 3-match T20 series. Don't miss a ball from 4 p.m. live on Fox Cricket. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the nominees for our Sportsbet Player Performance of Finals Week 3. And we start with Cameron Munster. He had 1 try assist. Awesome in that game with Jerome Hughes. Payne Haas, 163 run metres. And, of course, the match winner for the Broncos, Adam Reynolds. And let's start with Jerome Hughes. We didn't know if he was going to be fit. We didn't know if he was going to play. But not only did he play, Rudy, he was outstanding.
Yeah. And his surgeon, Dr. Andrew Oppie, deserves a lot of credit, Braith. I mean, basically, he came out of that surgery the day after he did that injury. And Andrew told him, mate, you're a chance in 3 weeks to play in the prelim.
Is it still broken?
It depends. It's obviously got a plate.
You said
screws
it had
in
a
there.
stronger plate than usual.
Apparently.
Yeah.
NRL physio took the mickey out of me for that. But anyway, well, I assume it's still broken because it wouldn't knit back together that quickly. But he was on a pretty strict program. He wasn't allowed to run for 7 days or so because he couldn't sweat. In case
Did he have to have injections like that?
No, apparently no.
No.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with that big padding on it, the NRL approved it, but we saw early in that game he fended off.
Was it 22 days, was it, from when he broke it or something like that?
Roughly, that was about 3 weeks,
Shane Webke did a similar thing and he was in a bit of pain. Obviously it doesn't heal, and Webby could have churched it up a little bit, but he said that he felt a bit of movement, so obviously with a stronger plate, really, he probably didn't move as much.
The incredible thing about Jerome Hughes, not just this latest wrist, he did the shoulder. Now, that was 8 weeks ago. He came back and did his wrist after 15 minutes. That is all the football that guy had played in 8 weeks. And to turn on a show like he did the other night with 15 minutes of footy in 2 months, that bloke, why he won the Dally M. He's that close to Cleary. Great player.
All right, Stefano Utoikamano isn't known for his hot takes, but the informed prop has given it to the Broncos with both barrels.
Was there a time you thought it was season over for you?
Yeah, I think when I passed that ball to, I think it was Munster, and my arm felt no good, and as soon as that happened, I thought I was definitely gone. I thought I was definitely done for the year, and I didn't want to go into the game not being confident. It was good that I got through a full week of training and contact, and was able to get through the game.
I think that's my whole game, really. Like, me with the ball, running over people, and not many people want to kind of stand in front of me when I'm running the ball. So, I want to make sure this week I set up for to get that first kick of the game, and there's going to be a lot of people I want to run at. There's a lot of people I don't like in this team, and I'm keen to go out there and run someone over.
You don't name names there?
No, I don't want to name names, but there's a lot of people I think they're a bit stuck up.
There's a storm brewing.
I wouldn't be talking about Payne Haas like that.
You know what? Like, Stefano had career best game. He's in the best form ever that he's ever played, and he was close to the best player, definitely best forward by a long way against the Sharks. And I love that he's up and about after it too, and he's got the confidence, a little bit of arrogance there. I don't know if I'd be lighting the fuse grand final week though. I don't know if Bellamy would like that, or maybe he doesn't mind. How do you guys see it?
Well, it's his first final series, right? So he's inexperienced at handling the mood. He comes from the West Tigers, where they were down the bottom and no one cared what anyone said. He slipped there today. Probably shouldn't have said it from a team point of view. Yeah. But you know what?
He joked a bit with it.
Yeah, he did. I love characters in our game who don't give you the stereotype cliches we get.
Shoot him down.
I think we're underrating a little bit how much of a personality he is. If you remember when he left the West Tigers, he said, I want to go to a team where I can win a premiership. Yeah. So occasionally he does say things that are a bit inflammatory and incendiary.
I haven't heard him say anything since then, though.
Well, not since then. Well, he does.
That's a long time ago.
It was a while ago. But he is known for occasionally voicing his opinions.
Occasionally, twice.
Occasionally, yeah. I wish there was more of it, I wish there was more of it. Yeah. Footy players get
I love it too.
I'm not. They're all well trained.
I'd love to. My thing is this, though. I love it too, right? But I'm just asking the question, how do you think Craig would like it? Or
probably doesn't like it.
No, but he's put pressure on himself. Yeah. As a front rower, right? He's going to come up with it. It's not kicking, it's not a catcher, it's not that. It's about him saying to all the guys, I don't like you, I'm going to run at you as hard as you can. Len, you said it, and we're all wax lyrical about when it was like, I'm going to take the first kick off. Well, I think he's just come out and put a bit of a target.
He played opposite last week. He played opposite Adam Fanua-Blake, right?
Yep.
And many were talking about him as the front row of the year, right?
Well, we did a promo on him.
He was clearly the best front row on the field. I reckon he can back it up.
Yep.
I reckon he's a super player. His clash with House will shake that stadium on Sunday.
I don't think Craig would care that he's done that.
Okay.
I honestly don't, because mate, Craig had Brandon Smith for years down there. The stuff that bloke used to say was off the charts. So I think this is. I don't think this will worry Craig.
You play with Willie Mason, right? And I love Willie because Willie would say stuff.
If you know what, I'm happy for any player to say anything as long as they back it up. It's like that's and it's just unusual that he said it. As I said, like I think he's had the best game of his career and he's in career best form. You know, ride it.
I'll tell you what the thing about him is, Braith. Most blokes when they go to Melbourne, it's the second year that they really stand up. They have a second pre-season. He's going to be so good next year.
Now the Brisbane Broncos, they've played the Raiders in Canberra. They've played Penrith in Brisbane on the weekend, and then you've got the Melbourne Storm, Dogs. Then Sharks. Is there anything concern at all that they've maybe had an easier run into the grand final, or is that a good thing? I don't know. Do you see it that way? Is it worth a topic? Is it a topic of conversation, really? Or you just think it's irrelevant?
I hadn't thought of it till you mentioned them, Braith. But no, I don't think it's an issue. I think look, they both. They've had a long season. They've had some pretty tough games in the final series, and I think they're both battle-hardened and ready to go.
2 extra days, too, rest.
That is more significant. The 2 extra days I reckon that's really significant because Brisbane played yesterday and stinking on
you get 7 days. If it was 5, you'd go, there's that. But when you get 7 days to prepare.
7 days in grand final week's like 4 normal days, though.
Yeah.
With all your commitments, the breakfast,
you don't do too much grand final.
The Dally M Awards, the media exposure, the flights into town. I think Melbourne have got a big advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, quick hit on the Sharks before we get to the break.
They need some roster surgery, Braith, I think.
Where?
Good question. Where? They lack an X factor, right? And they don't have the cap space to do anything about it.
Well, how does that change?
Look,
there'll be some changes.
They've got a rock-solid roster that'll get them into the 8, possibly the 4 for some, but they cannot make a grand final with the current 17. That's just my view.
Yeah, okay. What do you think?
I think there'll be some change in the off-season. I think
they have no money, really.
But I'm saying some players will go. I think some players will go. Well, there's been suggestions that Braden Hammond and Ueli can look around.
One.
Yeah, well, he's on good money, Buzz.
Yeah, one.
Okay.
They haven't got money to sign Will Kennedy. You know, I think they've got a very tight
right bow.
Well, one player on decent money is a significant amount of money to play with.
Hines and Trindle's happy to be safe. Everything's fine there. They can win a competition.
What about Kennedy? Because I was talking about the fullback, right? So then you talk about X factor.
Well, that's the obvious one for me.
It's either 7, 6 or 1. That's that's your X factor, isn't it?
But I don't know that there's a fullback you can go out and get right now to get. I think next year they're going to have to live with what they got. But I think if things continue as they are, the following year they're going to have to make some changes.
All right, stick around. Journo's up next. We cross live to NRL CEO Andrew Abdo, and tomorrow night it's Ray Hadley's face-to-face with our very own Matty Johns. Welcome back. Now it's time for Heavy Hitters with Andrew Abdo. Andrew, thanks for joining us. It's been a hugely successful final series. You got the Broncos up against the Storm in the grand final. 2 powerhouse clubs. This is going to be massive, isn't it?
It's going to be one for the ages. And you're right, we've had a phenomenal season. The football has been fantastic. And the athletes, well, what can you say? They're the best in the world. And the final series has just built week on and week out. We've broken records, a tremendous response from our fans, and it all leads to Sunday. And you can't pick it after a wonderful set of prelims this last weekend. Both the NRLW and NRL grand finals are going to be one for the ages.
Hey Andrew, it's Gordy Tallis here, mate. Congratulations on the wonderful season so far, but you got record crowds, record ratings. How happy with you with the success that the game's had this year?
Well, I think the success is really about how fans feel, and the fans have responded positively. And as you said, records across attendance and of course in terms of TV audience, that's really important. But the feel for the game and the passion for the game, I just, you can't really quantify that, but the sense I have and the feedback I get from the fans, the excitement for the football, the quality of football, and I said it earlier, we've got the best athletes on the planet, and a credit to the clubs, it's just been one of those really engaging, entertaining premierships, both the men's and women's competitions, and they've ebbed and flowed, and now it comes down to the best of the best left at the end. So the fans have responded positively, and that means that the game's healthy, and that's really important to us.
Andrew, my highlight of the entire final series has been Sunday afternoon football. And I said on the show earlier that rating in Brisbane yesterday was the highest in the history of the game for a grand final qualifier. That being said, surely and please, can we get a Sunday afternoon grand final, please?
Well, you're right, Buzz. How good has it been to have Sunday afternoons throughout the first 3 weeks of the final series? It's been something that our commission was really strong on. We want to make sure that we focus on our fans. We've had unbelievable football, great conditions for great football, and the Sunday afternoons have been very successful, as evidenced by the ratings and the crowds and the attendance. The atmosphere yesterday at Suncorp Stadium was electric. It was like, it was like a state of origin type atmosphere. And of course, on Grand Finals Day, you've got the best of both, because we have the NRLW Premiership Grand Final in the afternoon leading into the Teddy Swims pre-game entertainment, and then the twilight kickoff. And of course, that's 6:30 in Queensland with the daylight saving. So it's kind of a little bit of the best of both. And obviously 7:30 is when the NRL Grand Final is scheduled for at the moment. But you've heard the chairman say, and we're obviously looking at in the future and the new right cycle, an opportunity to look at that and revisit it. But we're just enjoying the fact that we've had such a phenomenal final series across the 3 weeks.
Hey Andrew, Brent Reid here. Buzz has just broken a story on the Telly website that Grant Atkins is about to be appointed to the game, to the grand final. I assume you won't officially confirm that. Feel free to do it if you want to. But what's going through your head in terms of, what's going through your head in terms of the refereeing appointment for this weekend's game?
Yeah. So we'll confirm the match officials tomorrow. That's our tradition. It's a really important day for them as well when we confirm that. It's right that we talk about the quality of athletes we've got and the great football we've experienced this season. It's also important to acknowledge the match officials. I know we're all passionate about the game, and there's lots of views around the performance of the match officials week in and week out, but they train incredibly hard. They put so much in to their effort, and they are heavily scrutinised and analysed for their performance. And the grand final, of course, whoever is appointed, that's the culmination of a lot of hard work throughout the season. And, obviously, as we go from week 1, where you've got 4 matches and 4 officials, to week 2, where there's only 2, and then in the grand final, there can be only 1, whoever that is, that is obviously an opportunity to recognise a lot of hard work, not just in the final series, but as I said, throughout the season. And we'll make that formal announcement tomorrow. But the match officials have played their part too in this record-breaking season. The football is incredibly fast. It's frenetic, and they get almost all of the decisions right. They make mistakes, they're human, but we often focus on those mistakes. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the effort that they've put in and the great job that they've done throughout the year.
Andrew, what about the Penrith Panthers? I mean, what they've been able to achieve may never be matched again over the last 5 years. You must be grateful for what they've done for our game.
Well, Penrith, the Penrith Panthers have been a phenomenal juggernaut of success. They obviously have a strong leadership culture, and they've established that. And the last 5 years has been phenomenal, and obviously 4 premierships. And you've seen different players come through, and the consistency of culture. You can see the players enjoy playing together, and obviously Ivan as the coach, the whole leadership team has done a phenomenal job, and they have set the standard in the last few years. So credit to them. It's not often you win a premiership and then you make it all the way to a prelim. So credit to them, and well done to the Penrith Panthers and all that they've done and achieved over the last few years. And of course now it's down to the Melbourne Storm and the Brisbane Broncos to create history in 2025.
Andrew, we're about to go on leave after the grand final. Can't wait. You don't seem to get an off-season though. You don't seem to get one. We'll be harassing you in about 3 weeks. We'll want the draw for next year. We'll get hungry again after a little lapse.
Well, that's what we love about footy, Buzz. You know, we've got an exciting premiership, but after the grand final, we've got the Pacific Championships. We'll be hard at work in the draw right for next year, and so much to look forward to next year. We've got a big World Cup that we'll be hosting, and another exciting premiership. So lots to do behind the scenes, and we want to make sure that we keep growing the game and we keep making the game even more engaging and entertaining. And we'll be hard at work making sure that 2026 breaks new records. But right now, it's grand final week, and it's an opportunity for our fans to really celebrate what has been a phenomenal season. And the countdown started. We had the drones and lighting up of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. What a beautiful city we're living. And the countdown is on to Sunday, and honestly, I cannot wait.
Hey Andrew, I've got to ask you, you mentioned then looking forward to next year, and once you get through this weekend, where do you reckon the NRL can get better next year? Have you thought about that yet?
No, not yet. Although I do get a lot of feedback. This has been really about focusing on 2020. A pretty robust feedback. But this year has been really, we've been focused on delivering on the things that we can control and making sure that we're focused on growing the game as best as we can. And obviously in the off-season, we'll take a breath, we'll review things, and we'll think about where we can get better. But what I will say is that we're excited about where the game is going. We're excited about expansion. We're excited about the fact that the game is growing at all levels. Men's and women's, touch, tag, tackle, participation at grassroots level, which is incredibly important for us. And of course at the elite level, the growth in TV audience and live attendance. It's all really linked, and it's exciting. And I'm really proud to work for a sport that connects the community so well. We all need, the world is a wild place at the moment, and to be honest, we all need something to look forward to. Sport gives us that, rugby league gives us that, and that's something we don't take for granted. This is a wonderful community sport, and we'll keep on thinking of ways in which we can grow the game, bring more people into the game, and as I said, this week is about celebrating that success.
Andrew, you should be proud. You've done a great job this year. You've been so accessible, an amazing partner here at Fox League, and congratulations on a fantastic year. Before you go, though, my mate next to me, he's a big fan of Teddy Swims. I've heard he's been a little bit sick. Is he going to be okay? Everyone's worried about it.
Teddy, we got confirmation today. Teddy Swims is in great shape. He's made a full recovery. He's going to be... he'll be lighting up the grand final on Sunday. I can't wait.
Beautiful. He's good to go. Thank you, Andrew. All right.
It would have been... I have to...
Go on, Andrew. Go on.
I have to say this, guys. It would have been like a bad dream if he wasn't able to perform.
No, we're pumped. We can't wait. You enjoy the grand final, mate.
See you guys.
Yeah, we can't get through a show without asking him about Lachlan Galvin.
Yeah, mate.
Lachlan Galvin.
He's on a break. He's on holidays.
People have bets.
Where's he on holidays?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure he'll come back next year bigger and better than ever. I'm looking forward to watching him play.
Where he is. Why don't you ring him up and interview him?
Who's that?
Isaac Moses.
Well, he's his manager, so I'd hope he'd know where he is. Yeah.
All right, you two. I just started a fight. Up next, we reveal our sports bet player of the round. After us, it's the latest edition of Madge and Cronk. Welcome back. Our Sportsbet player performance of the round is Payne Haas with 59% of the vote, Gordy. He's absolutely smashed them.
Unbelievable.
Deserves it too, right?
Yeah, and I'd like to see the meters without the football as well.
Crazy. All right, that's it for NRL 360 for tonight. Now it's time for Madge and Cronk.